Hello, everyone, and welcome to this week's edition of the A.K.47 Podcast. I'm Austin Speaker.
And I'm Kenny Stable.
And we have the BBwAA Awards to summarize up. So we're going to start from the back end of it and going up to the main event that happened just recently. So let's start with Manager of the Year. Congratulations to Torey Lovullo for winning it for the National League, leading the Diamondbacks to the playoffs after having 91 losses the year before, something like that.
A substantial amount.
Yeah, more losses than wins, and they finished fourth in the NL West last year. Finished second this year, only behind the Dodgers, and they won the NL Wild Card. So congratulations to the Diamondbacks and Torey Lovullo. And from the American League, Paul Molitor, which I'm not surprised. It's just I think I talked about this a little bit last time. It's just that A.J. Hinch didn't need to be a great manager to manage. You don't need to be a great manager to manage the team that the Astros had. I mean, A.J. Hinch is a good manager, don't get me wrong, but it's like they were just such a good team. But what Paul Molitor did to take the young talent and make sure that everyone was still competing and trying to win and to take him to a wild card after having 100 losses the year before, that's incredible.
No, and we talked about this last time, but he got the most out of his team, and almost everyone overachieved to an extent. Not everybody, but I'd say most of the team overperformed. Rosario, Grossman's OBP was sky high. I just think he got the most out of his assets, and that deserves Manager of the Year.
I have a question. What if they didn't overachieve? I'm not saying that. What if that wasn't their average? But what if that was like they really are that good? What if Rosario and Polanco and Irvin from April to October and Barrios from April to October, what if they really are just that good?
I don't know, because there's so much speculation on how much control a manager has over someone's play, and I don't think it's many, if any, factors that go into a player's play. I think your job as a manager is to get them fired up each and every day and keep them positive, but you can't make them hit home runs or doubles or walks, You can't make them walk. So I don't know. I think most of the credit goes to the players, but I do think it takes someone like Paul Molitor who, day in day out, motivates them and tries to get the best out of them. So.
And remember that was your answer, because we're gonna talk about Joe Girardi later when we're done going over the awards.
Okay.
So moving on, we got Rookie of the Year is I would say the third biggest one behind Cy Young and MVP. So we'll go over Rookie of the Year. Congratulations to Aaron Judge and Cody Bellinger on being the fourth pair of unanimous Rookie of the Year winners. Do you know who the other three pairs are? Do you think you could tell me the other three pairs?
The other three pairs. Okay.
So Aaron Judge in 2017.
Yeah.
And Cody Bellinger in 2017. They both won unanimous Rookie of the Year awards. Congratulations.
Okay.
First time it's happened in 20 years. So back in 1997, this pair won Rookie of the Year unanimously.
1997.
1997.
Giants?
No.
Twins?
No.
Catcher?
No. Okay, third baseman for the Cardinals, shortstop for the Red Sox.
Scott Rowland.
And
Nomar.
Nomar.
Yeah.
God, I hated him.
No, I don't.
God, I hate it. Okay, but anyway, I digress. No, these are actually kind of tough names to get. So, Benito Santiago and Mark McGwire were the first pair to do it in 1987.
I said catcher. Benito Santiago's a catcher.
That was 1987.
Okay,
though.
but you
I said
me, Austin.
I said 1997.
Okay, fair enough. Okay, so I wasn't wrong technically.
Okay, no, you weren't wrong. I was just trying to go over each pair.
Okay,
but I'll just go over them. We're not gonna make this trivia.
That's fine.
Benito Santiago and Mark McGwire did it in 1987. Mike Piazza and Tim Salmon did it in 1993.
Okay.
Which, I just gotta say, I love Tim Salmon. I used to love him as a player. Like, when the Angels had him and Troy Gloss and the Molina brothers and Garrett Anderson, those were some great Angel teams.
Don't forget David Eckstein.
And, yeah. I am a fan of David Eckstein.
I loved him.
And yeah, as we just said, Scott Rowland and Nomar Garciaparra in 1997. So 87, 93, 97, and then 20 years later, 2017, Aaron Judge and Cody Bellinger. So I don't think there was much debate for that one.
And when we get to the MVP discussion, obviously Altuve and Stanton. I just want to say Judge should have won MVP as well, but based on merit, he had no chance, just because Fred Lynn and Ichiro are the only two to win Rookie of the Year and MVP in the same year.
Mm-hmm.
And in the NBA, Wes Unseld and Wilt Chamberlain did it in like the 60s, 50s.
Yeah.
So it's very hard to do.
It almost
and I think that goes against it.
It almost happened with Mike Trout back in 2012, I believe,
Yep.
was his Rookie of the Year campaign, and the only reason he finished second was because Miguel Cabrera that year won the Triple Crown.
Right.
And how you can't win MVP when you're going up against the Triple Crown winner.
Exactly.
So that's...
I think,
it's tough.
I
It's
think
tough to
there's a little bit of style points that are docked from you as a rookie, even though Judge, I think, should have won. That's just my opinion.
I share the opinion, but I understand. It's not like I don't understand why Altuve won.
Right.
But we'll get to that. So now we move on to Cy Young, as Corey Kluber wins his second Cy Young award, his first since
2013? 14.
14.
14.
After leading the MLB in wins with 18, ERA with 2.25, a .87 WHIP, and his K to walk ratio on the whole year.
Okay.
And he's a starting pitcher.
Yeah.
7.4.
Wow.
That's 7.5. That's almost 8 strikeouts for every walk, and he's a starting pitcher.
Yeah.
He's not a reliever coming out of the bullpen once.
You're not supposed to be doing that as a starter.
You're not. Kluber is the first to win multiple Cy Young awards since...
Justin Verlander?
No.
Felix Hernandez?
No.
Roger Clemens?
No.
Yankee?
He was never a Yankee. He was in New York, and he won his Cy Young awards in 2004 and in 2006.
Okay, Yohan Santana.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes, one in the American League, one in the National League, if I'm not mistaken.
Mm.
So yeah, Johan did that, and Kluber won his second. I don't want to debate it because he was so good. I know in our last podcast, I picked Chris Sale to win based on the 300 strikeouts. I know his ERA wasn't quite up to par with Kluber. I know his K to walk ratio wasn't quite as good. He had a little bit of a higher WHIP.
His second half wasn't as good.
And that's exactly what you said, and I think that's what the writers were voting on.
Yeah. Was
when the Indians went on that 22-game win streak, and Kluber just could not be touched until the month of October came around.
And I don't think anyone's arguing Kluber's harder to hit than Chris Sale, because you can debate that. But I think Kluber's more efficient as a starting pitcher.
That's what it is, and the K to walk ratio says that right there.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, he just doesn't walk anyone.
No.
So, and he strikes out a ton. And I'm not saying he's easy to hit. He's very hard to hit. Have you seen his slider? Comes out of the same arm angle and velocity with his arm as his two-seamer. So it could come at you, or it breaks 2 feet away.
Right,
from you.
and he's one of the only pitchers in baseball where his delivery stays the exact same for pretty much every pitch.
Mm-hmm.
He's like Mariano Rivera.
Him, Verlander, and Kershaw are names that come to mind when it comes to the same exact. Yeah, no. So speaking of Kershaw, he finished in second in the National League to Max Scherzer. Congratulations to Max Scherzer on becoming the 10th pitcher in baseball history to win 3+ Cy Young awards. This is also his second straight year, so obviously 2016, 2017. Max Scherzer's first year winning the award was...
His first Cy Young was 2013.
Was 2013 with Detroit.
I mixed up him and...
Yeah, with Kluber.
Yeah.
Yeah, so his was 2013 with Detroit. Max Scherzer had an NL best 268 Ks. Chris obviously had the MLB best with 307.
6,400.
6,000. He had a .9 WHIP, best in the National League. Only second in the major leagues to Corey Kluber with a .87. So now let's do a little trivia. Okay. Because I've been waiting to ask you this one.
Okay.
All right. 6th pitcher to win the award in consecutive seasons. Who were the first 5 to do it?
Okay.
Now, yeah. Okay, go ahead.
This award's been around for quite some time.
Since Cy Young.
Since Cy Young, right.
So since Cy Young retired. So, since the 19 teens, it's been around.
Okay. Walter Johnson?
Nope.
Okay.
Never won in consecutive seasons.
Very odd, because he's considered by some to be
I'll give you a hint by eliminating some huge names.
Okay.
Whitey Ford never won in consecutive seasons.
I knew that.
Bob Gibson never won in consecutive seasons.
Yeah.
Walter Johnson, you just said.
Nolan Ryan?
Nolan Ryan never won a Cy Young, period.
Okay.
Think about that. Nolan Ryan has 7 no-hitters to his name and never won a Cy Young.
That's unfortunate. That surprises me.
4,000 plus Ks or 5,000 Ks maybe. I forget the exact number. A lot of Ks.
Okay. Steve Carlton.
Carlton never won it back to back.
Back to back.
He won it, but not back to back.
So there's 5 other pitchers who won it back to back.
Right. Max Scherzer is the 6th person to do it.
Okay, Clemens.
Never won it back to back.
Dude.
Has 5 Cy Youngs, I
hold
believe,
on.
and never won it back to back.
Dark horse. Fernando Valenzuela.
Never won it back to back.
Wow. I feel like we're on that Sporkle thing where you're typing.
Okay, but I will say this: 2 Dodgers are on the list.
Earl Hershiser
is not on the list.
Oh my. Okay.
Best Dodger pitcher of all time.
Okay, Sandy Koufax.
Sandy Koufax won it back to back. Yeah, let's get you on the board.
I feel like I'm on Sporkle and I'm typing in like 10, 15 Hall of Famers that have never had it, but it keeps giving me these extra bubbles. Like you're almost there. You're almost there.
That's right. All right.
Okay, so Koufax is 1.
Yes.
I'm gonna say.
Also, I have the list in chronological order. So Koufax is the first name on the list. If that also helps. Went back in like the 60s.
Okay.
Or late 60s.
That actually helps a tad bit. Yeah.
So the next person to do it was in the 90s, then the early 2000s, then the late 2000s turning into 2010.
Yeah. Pedro.
No. So 90s, do you know who could be in the mid 90s?
Mid 90s.
Recent Hall of Famer.
I'm thinking National League.
You are thinking National
Thinking
League.
John Smoltz.
No, that team though.
Tom Glavine.
No.
Greg Maddux.
The other one, yeah, there you go. The other one.
Randy Johnson.
Randy Johnson was the one to do it. Yep, and for the Diamondbacks. All right. Now this, I can tell you the exact year this happened: 2009, 2010. He won back-to-back Cy Youngs.
Okay. This is American League.
No.
National League.
Yep.
Okay.
Well, that's the only other league.
The only other league.
Good job, Kenny. What do you use process of elimination?
Yeah, really. Thinking National League Central.
You're not thinking National League Central.
Boy, I am.
A little bit to the left.
Okay. So West.
Yep.
Not Lincecum, obviously.
Are you sure about that, Kenny?
Yes, it was Lincecum.
It was Lincecum.
I forgot how good he was because he was so bad.
Tim Lincecum, I will come on record and say, of all my years being a Yankee fan and loving baseball, Tim Lincecum arguably might be my favorite pitcher to ever watch of all time. His delivery, how good he was during those Cy Young years. Granted, he was under the influence of marijuana quite a few of those starts, but it worked for him.
I just forgot how good he was.
He was filthy. Dude, the way that he just cocked his arm back all the way down to his right ankle and then finishing up his whole body just jumping at you. It was crazy.
Yeah.
It was fun to watch. And then what were the years for this one? 2014 and 15? He won back-to-back Cy Youngs? Dodger? Who else could it be?
Okay, Kershaw.
Yeah, I was going to say, who else could it be?
Yeah, really.
All right, so yeah, that's the list. Back-to-back Cy Young winners ever are Koufax, Maddux, Johnson, Lincecum, Clayton Kershaw, and Scherzer the past 2 seasons.
It still bothers me that Nolan Ryan's never won a Cy Young.
That's bothered me for a while, and I've just whenever I'm talking baseball with whoever, whether it's my brother, my dad, or like some of my other good friends, that just whenever I'm talking baseball, and if pitching comes up, I'm like, oh man, Nolan Ryan's one of the best pitchers ever. Oh, he never won a Cy Young. Yeah, I don't care.
Yeah. Awards are popularity contests.
You know what that tells me? Here's my theory on that, is that every year Nolan Ryan, if you want to consider Nolan Ryan the second best pitcher, every single year he was in the league, I bet there was a different Cy Young Award winner every year he was in the league. Like every year, like someone just had a ridiculous year, like, and just took it. And Nolan Ryan's like, all right, well, I'm still consistently one of the best pitchers of all time throughout an entire career.
Yeah.
So
no, I think you can make the case for that.
I would like to make the case for that. So that brings us from Cy Young to the main event, MVP.
Mm-hmm.
All right. I don't know. I saw this stat and I thought it was interesting too. Kenny, do you know who the first ever African-American MVP winner was?
Jackie Robinson.
It was not Jackie Robinson.
Larry Doby.
It was not Larry Doby.
Bob Gibson.
Nope.
Ooh. Roberto Clemente, does he count?
No, it wasn't it. It was before that time.
It was before that time. Was it Roy Campanella?
No.
You said African-American.
Right. I did say African-American. Okay. And you got the right position.
Elston Howard.
Yes.
At Yankees.
Yes.
Yeah,
Elston Howard was the first ever African-American league.
This is way back when.
Way back there. All right, so we got the winners here.
Mm-hmm.
Altuve and Stanton, who nudged out Joey Votto by 2 points.
That's it.
I couldn't believe that. That's incredible. Do you know how close that is? Does that go? Is that good for a recount?
I think Michigan deserves a recount there.
Jesus. So 302 points to 300 points. Stan edges out Joey Votto, and I didn't think it was going to be that close. I thought just on the numbers, like, what are the sexy numbers that people love to talk about?
People love
home runs and RBIs.
Slugging percentage. Oh, yeah.
Home runs, RBIs, slugging percentage. And Stanton was the king of that for, the All-Star break through September.
I think, Joey Votto's a better pure hitter. I don't think anyone's going to dispute that. But
I have a stat for that coming up, but go ahead.
Yeah, and I think there was a game earlier this year I read where he went 0 for 4 or 0 for 0 with 4 walks, I think.
Mm-hmm.
This is like mid-season.
So did Matt Holliday, by the way.
So did Matt Holliday, right. But still, like, the way Votto did it is just the way he chokes up on the bat and the way he draws. He hit more walks than... he's just an amazing hitter. He's really underappreciated. If he wasn't in Cincinnati, he'd be winning some awards. Let's put it that way.
Joey Votto this season took 1,144 swings.
Uh-huh. He
swung and missed only 175 times. He put the bat on the ball 98.5% of the time. 98.5% of his swings made contact with the baseball.
That's... I don't know how to respond to that. Is he pressing circle every time?
He's contact swing. He's doing contact swing every single time.
Okay.
But he also does it. That's the thing, though, is he also does it with a 320 average, 36 home runs, 20 more walks than he had strikeouts.
Good defense at first.
Great defense. Yeah. That was actually one of the things. He didn't play for Team Canada this past year in the World Baseball Classic because he said he wanted to work on his craft. Working on his craft meant defense. He felt he was a defensive liability. I'm sure he was the only one on the planet that thought he was a defensive liability. So, because he's always been an above average. I'm not saying he's always been the best, but he's always been an above average.
He's more than solid.
Absolutely. You take him every day. And he got even better with that, and he's in his mid-30s and still doing what he's doing.
Is he that old?
Early to mid-30s. I want to say, I'll look it up, but I want to say
like
33.
31 maybe.
Okay. But to be doing what he's doing past 30, regardless of how old he is,
it's unbelievable,
man. I'm at no words. I have no words.
And I remember a game. Well, they were playing the Yankees. I think it was at Yankee Stadium too.
He is 34, by the way.
He's older than I thought.
Yeah, he turned 34 on September 10th this year.
Wow.
So I was right.
Good for you, Austin.
So I was right.
No. No, I was going to say, I think it was Severino versus the Reds this year. I think it was in Yankee Stadium. He was mowing down the Reds. And the one guy that he couldn't put away was Joey Votto. Couldn't get that out pitch. And his stuff was working. It's not like he's making bad pitches.
Right, and Severino's a guy who throws 99-100 routinely, and he's got a devastating slider, and he developed a very good changeup.
I think he had back-to-back 8+ pitch at-bats for him and Severino. No one else had more than like 5 in the span of 5 innings. It's unbelievable what he does. He's on another planet, hitting-wise.
Just the way that his hitting style, you know what it reminds me of is Joe Mauer back in like 2006. Just very an upright lefty bat, very short, compact stroke, powerful, not a lot of movement, and just puts together professional at bats. 300+ hitter, takes his walks, and that's how Joe Mauer was. Joe Mauer never had the power that Votto has, but in terms of like the way he hit, the way he took his walks, and the way he just kind of put the bat in the ball. I'm not saying he did it 98.5% of the time.
Right.
That's just ungodly.
No, Mauer was more of like he is still more of like a doubles gap-to-gap hitter. Yeah. He can hit home runs, but it's not like his thing. Yeah. He never choked up to the degree that Votto did either, but still, when he was in his prime, Mauer was scary.
Yeah. So he barely got edged out by Giancarlo Stanton. I'm actually kind of surprised it was a 2-man race.
Yeah.
I'm surprised it was that close between those two. And I'm surprised Goldschmidt didn't get more love.
Surprised Goldschmidt didn't.
Overall athlete, steals bases, hits for average, hits for power, great defense. What else more can you really say about Paul Goldschmidt? And he's been doing it. This isn't a 1-year thing. He's been doing it every year.
He's been consistently a top 5-10 player in baseball the last like 5-6 years, honestly.
It's incredible.
No, I think if Goldschmidt and Votto didn't play in such smaller-ish markets, at least compared to the other teams, like New York, Boston, Chicago, I think they'd be having some awards to their name.
Considering Miami a big market for baseball?
No, but considering what Stanton did was more of a statistical anomaly than what those two did.
Right.
I think, almost...
That was like national headlines.
Right, exactly. Yeah.
Yeah, that's kind of like that's kind of the only reason why why Trevor Story made the All-Star team last year was because the April Heat... Trevor Story had a god-awful May and June and first half of July going into the All-Star break in 2016. The only reason he made the team was because of what he did the first 2 weeks of April.
His home run hitting splurge when he came up.
Right.
It's unreal.
Which, by the way, if Jose Reyes was never a domestic violence abuser, for lack of a better term, I don't really want to call him...
Domestic abuser?
Domestic abuser?
I guess that's...
Yeah. So if he was never a domestic abuser, we would never have heard of Trevor Story. Think about that. Because he just got traded to the Rockies, probably would have just been their starting shortstop. That's just the way the world would have worked.
Well, let me just clear the air. This is a little off topic here, but River Avenue Blues, right? The biggest Yankee blog.
Yes.
Mike Axe is the guy who runs it. Biggest Yankee fan ever.
Yeah.
He hates Chapman because of his past and his quote unquote domestic violence past. Jose Reyes literally has beaten women.
Yeah.
Aroldis Chapman has never laid his hands on a woman, so to speak. He's never been proven that.
He fired off something with a gun, right?
In his garage. Never hit anyone, just against the wall in anger. Not justifying that, but in comparison to Jose Reyes, who seems to not be getting any flack for what he's done, literally has beaten women before. Chapman never has, and now Chapman's the bad guy. I've seen a lot of his articles where he's like, "Oh, I don't know how they can get a discount for domestic violence." It's like he never hit anyone. I'm not justifying what he did, but he never hit anyone. You can't say that.
You can't. Right, you're not justifying what he did, but when you're comparing to what Reyes did and what we see other guys in other sports like Ray Rice.
Exactly.
When we see that
Joe Mixon.
Right.
Straight up 1-2 Mayweathering a girl in the restaurant. And,
so when we see stuff like that happen in other sports and with other players, I get you might not like what Chapman did, but is it really worth hating him for? Especially since we're paying him $110 million over 5 years to close out games in the most heartache fashion possible.
I'm not calling Chapman a saint. I'm not saying he's citizen of the year.
No,
but compared to other guys in other sports, especially even in his own sport, I don't think he deserves the flack that he gets from writers and bloggers.
Right.
So. Anyways, I just wanted to get that off my chest, just because you brought up Jose Reyes.
So to cap it off with MVP, this was probably the one that everyone was looking for. Like, okay, yeah, NL MVP's great. Goldschmidt, Votto, and Stanton are great players. But really, any one of those three could have won, and I would have just said, you know what, you're right.
NL MVP
Any one of those three, I would have just said,
race.
You're fine.
It was the closest race.
This is the one that I feel bad for Jose Ramirez. So I'm watching the MVP show, right, and they're doing like this cool intro of all of the MVP candidates and stuff, and they're like breaking down all three American League players. And I just kind of felt bad because I'm sitting there like, Jose Ramirez, I'm sorry. Like, they're breaking you down. You're a switch hitter. You're a Swiss Army knife for Cleveland. You're a good hitter, good player, but you're going to be voted in third place every single ballot.
Mm-hmm.
Like,
yeah.
I'm sorry.
It's fitting enough,
I guess.
I think the only thing he had over Judge and Altuve were, doubles, I think? I think that's it.
I don't even know about that. I think he was just a switch hitter. I think that was the only thing he had over those two. Was that he was a switch hitter.
Maybe, but I'm sure he led one of those two, and I think doubles would be my guess. I don't know. I'm just saying.
Triples, maybe? No, Altuve had to have had triples.
Yeah.
All right. Well, Altuve did win it.
Mm-hmm.
So he edged out Aaron Judge, the MLB 18 cover star. Go ahead, Kenny. Go ahead. You can talk.
The only thing Altuve led with Judge is batting average and stolen bases. That's it.
Altuve's slash line was a 346 average, 410 on base, and a 547 slugging. Judge's on base was 430, I believe. Yeah. 430, and he slugged over 600. So,
and
you're right.
Forget WAR. I mean, one says Altuve is better, one says Judge.
Me and you
better.
both know we can just forget WAR.
Yeah, don't ever use it. But no, Altuve winning, I think there's two reasons why Judge lost. Number one, he's a rookie, and rookies, you don't really win MVP as a rookie in any sport. It's very rare. Number two, his slump that he had. Altuve didn't really have a major slump. He had a wishy-washy April, but other than that, it was the best.
I thought that September was going to revive him, that he had.
Yeah.
But, it's whatever. So, what was I going to say? Okay, so Altuve also had 112 runs scored, 24 home runs, 81 RBIs, 32 stolen bases, which... Yeah. I still laugh when they were like, oh, Altuve, is the only player to have 30-plus in 6 straight seasons in the past, the only current player to have 30-plus steals in the past 6 seasons. And it's like, okay, cool, but he should be stealing like 50, 60-plus.
He could.
He should be.
With the way that offense is, you don't want to waste outs, but yeah, he can steal 60.
I hate sabermetrics. They say steals aren't important. I just disagree.
I
If you can get into scoring position, if you can get an extra 90 feet closer
I will say,
without sacrificing an out.
I will say stealing and getting thrown out sucks and kills innings, but if you pick the right spot, absolutely. That like I said, this comes down to managing the situation. It's not a concrete thing. So,
okay.
If you know someone's breaking ball is working over their fastball and it's a 2-0 count and he doesn't trust his fastball, I'm going to try to take second.
On his breaking ball.
On his breaking ball.
Of course.
Exactly.
Baseball's fun.
It's fun to Michael.
So, yeah, another thing I have for Altuve possibly winning, and this is just something I heard, who was talking about this? Ken Rosenthal was talking about this. Altuve plays a middle position, which is considered more premier than a corner position.
Right.
I'm talking, of course, catcher, short, second, center field being more valuable than first, third, left, and right.
Really?
That's
third base.
To the two writers. This is just two writers. Typically, a candidate who plays a middle position is more valuable than a candidate who plays a corner position.
Okay.
That's just, I don't agree with that necessarily, just because I feel like Beltre and Rodriguez, those guys playing third base in the past 10 years could have been in every single MVP race. I feel like Machado from this year going forward could be in every single MVP race. Donaldson won MVP.
Yeah.
So I don't agree with that hardcore, but like I understand it. That when you're in the middle of the field, you're in charge of everything. Like Didi was good offensively, but him being as good as he was at shortstop made our entire defense better.
Right. And you're telling me third base is worth less than center field?
I'm not telling you that. Baseball Writers of America are telling you that.
So, if you were to throw some random fast guy in center field, could he play an above-average center? If he took good reps.
I hear what you're saying, and I agree with you.
You can't just throw anyone at third and expect them to play, Donaldson-level third base.
Which also, you know what? To credit, we're not talking about him, but that also might make Jose Ramirez that much better than what we think. His ability to play second, short, third, left, center, right, and do all of those well.
I think he can handle other positions.
So to support your argument, let's pull up Jason Kipnis. Plus speed at second base, stick him in center field because they wanted his bat in the lineup. Made a couple nice diving catches.
Actually did better than I thought he would.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So you're not wrong. I'm not saying the baseball writers are wrong either, but I see their point.
I do see their point. I'm just saying I would prefer a premium third base.
Third base, actually, I gotta say, is one of the harder positions in baseball. I think.
Oh yeah.
Because there's just no reaction time.
Yeah. And people say
I think third and catcher are probably two hardest positions.
People say, this is coming from personal experience, people say short to third is easier than short to second. I highly disagree with that.
What do you mean?
Transitioning from
transitioning.
Yeah. Short to second, because you're still involved in double plays. It's still the same angle toward the plate.
Depends on the size of the player. Like A-Rod was never going to be a second baseman.
No.
So
I get the argument. From
so if you were
to
put, it would be easier for Didi to transfer from short to second than for him to go to third base. I agree.
Yeah, maybe. Even though it's the same angles on double plays, the throw is still on the same line.
I agree with that, and that's also from my personal experience. I've had to play all over. Third base is just different. I feel like when you're
on
third,
an island,
you kind of are. So you can't really move. You can't really use your lateral speed. There's a difference between lateral speed and lateral quickness. Lateral speed is how far you can run to get to a ball. Quickness is reading it off the bat.
Yeah.
So basically at third base, you're anchoring your feet and you're just diving if it's to your left or right.
Right.
Not really doing anything. But short and second, those are the two positions that you got to really run to your left, to your right, range up the middle and in the hole. So I think those are actually more similar, but the angles are different.
Exactly. Right. And from personal experience, short to second was easier because I felt more in control.
Yeah.
Obviously, at third base, I feel like I was just kind of standing there most of the time. So
it's an interesting argument to make defensively.
Yeah. I think a guy like Jonathan Scope would be a Gold Glove third baseman if he learned in time.
See, now that's a good example. He's also a bigger, more stout guy with a good arm.
If he played third, he'd have a top 5 arm as a third baseman. Yeah. He's got the strongest second base arm.
Yep.
Him and Cano, obviously.
Right. Cano is also kind of a big guy who, if he gets slower at the end of his career, could play third or first.
Could. Yeah.
But I think that's the argument right there, that doesn't, those corner positions, they're kind of like for the bigger, slower guys, not for the athletes. Altuve's an athlete. Judge is also an athlete, so that's the thing. Is it's a weird comparison to make in this context because Judge was also a top 5 defensive right fielder, in my opinion.
He's no slouch.
No, he is not. But Altuve ended up winning, and congratulations to him. And with that, there's some trivia with it.
Okay. I've been pretty cold today.
Jose Altuve led the American League with 204 hits. 200 plus hits in the 4th straight season, led the American League in hits for the 4th straight season. Altuve became the 2nd Astros player to win MVP. Who was the first?
Jeff Bagwell.
In?
2003?
No, way before
okay,
that.
Okay, 1997. 1998.
Down.
1996.
94.
94. Okay.
2003.
Yeah.
No, that was the end of his career.
Yeah.
Jose Altuve is only the 3rd player in the wild card era. So wild card era is 95 and now. 95 to now.
Okay.
3rd player in the wild card era to win MVP and World Series in the same year. Who were the other 2?
To win MVP and World
Series. Not MVP and World Series. MVP just win MVP in the regular season and then go on to win the World Series with his team.
Good question.
Who are the other 2?
Was it? Ooh, this is actually a tough one. MVP and World Series winner in the same year since 1995, 96?
Yes.
I'm going to go Jeter.
No.
No. Okay. I'm going to go... Wow. This is like putting together the pieces
I'll
here.
give you one more guess, and then I'll give you a hint.
Okay. Give me a hint.
You want the hint now?
Yeah, I just want that.
They're both post-2010.
Okay. So...
This is your wheelhouse, modern baseball. This is your... Like, I'm the historian, and you're the modern baseball guy. Like, this is your wheelhouse.
I am more obscure players, not...
Oh, these guys are no way obscure.
I know. I don't like that.
These are household names.
Honestly, I'm drawing a blank.
Why?
I don't know.
Who won the World Series last year?
Okay, the Cubs.
And who won MVP?
Rizzo? No.
Dude.
I don't know. Dude, I just woke up like an hour ago. Can you give me a break, please?
Fine. Chris Bryant.
Chris Bryant.
God.
Okay.
That was embarrassing.
I am not good with the obvious questions, but if you ask me like who some random lefty reliever is from 2007, I can tell you that. I'm serious.
I know.
Okay.
I know you're serious.
I know.
That's what bothers me.
My brain works in reverse. So.
All right. I'll reword this one differently then. So.
Okay.
Buster Posey won the MVP and the World Series in one of these 3 years. It's either 2010, 2012, or 2014 because the even year.
I believe it was 2010.
It was not. That was Rookie of the Year. And World Series. He won MVP and World Series in
2012.
2012.
Okay.
There you go. Kind of spoon-fed you that one.
Yeah.
But I'm glad you got there. So that does it for the awards. That's it for all of it. Aaron Judge and Cody Bellinger, Rookie of the Year. Corey Kluber and Scherzer, Cy Young. Manager of the Years were Torey Lovullo and Paul Molitor. And MVP, Stanton and Altuve, and not Judge. Anyway, we move forward to now what we can officially consider the offseason. We now go into that magical time of year where literally anything can happen, including to what Yankee fans have been going over. Joe Girardi is no longer the manager of the Yankees. That's old news. The new news is they're interviewing for new guys. Carlos Beltran's in the consideration now after his retirement. Yeah. For applying to be the Yankee manager. But we were talking about manager of the year earlier. So Paul Molitor, you said, did a good job of, controlling his guys in the clubhouse, getting them fired up for each game, making sure that they were all on the winning mind. That was a part of Joe Girardi's firing, was his lack of clubhouse accessibility and relationship with the players.
I'm not going to say he had bad relationship with any players, because I don't think he did, but I think there is something to be desired with some relationships in the clubhouse.
What do you mean by that?
I'm not saying it's Paul Molitor level of, interpersonal communication, but I do think there are times where the team kind of felt like it was the team versus Girardi in terms of some decisions he was making in the bullpen. sitting some hot guys. I think Ellsbury's on a hot streak. He sat him.
Yeah.
Castro, he sat him.
Yep.
But you could go through the lineup, pick and choose. But
I think that happening over the course of the year, Girardi can say, "Oh, giving him a rest day." All he wants, but I think over the course of the year, when it happens enough times, the players just got to be thinking to themselves, "Dude, I have 3 home runs in the past 3 games. What more do you want from me?"
You don't need a rest day when you're 8 for your last 13.
Right.
You need to be batting second.
Yeah, exactly.
Move Castro up to the top 3 of the order.
Right, exactly.
And wait till he cools down. You don't sit someone who's that hot.
Ellsbury's 9 for his last 9. Maybe he should lead off this game. No, he shouldn't.
You
Okay.
could use a day? No? We're
okay.
facing Nick Tepesh from AAA. You need a day? No, I'm good. Nah, we'll sit you. You're good.
No,
Like-
here's the thing is, you're our hottest hitter, and we would love to sweep the Twins because we're facing Kyle Gibson, but nah, you don't need to play today.
You don't need it. We're gonna throw Kyle Higashioka in center field, man. He could use the rep.
Higashioka is gonna go out there to play center.
We're gonna throw Holiday
man.
at short. Just give some guys some. It's
Hicks
like Joe.
will play first.
I think Hicks could play a good first base.
Okay, but he's fast. He should be in the outfield.
No, I know.
That's all I'm saying. Yeah, and then also Kenny, we've talked about before his bullpen managing was it's kind of iffy.
My
there as
2
well.
rules, if I were ever a manager or coach in any aspect, my 2 rules managing a bullpen are: number 1, never use a reliever 3 days in a row. Number 2, never not use a reliever more than 3 days in a row. So if it's that 3rd day, you'd want to get him in there. Anything more than that, it's just rusty.
So Betances can throw 2 days in a row, but not 3. But
Right.
Betances can't have more than 3 days off.
Correct.
Got it.
There's the fine line between being rusty and then overthrowing an arm.
Right.
I think that's a good line.
And also, if you got Tanaka out there striking out 15 over 8 innings, you let him go his 8 innings.
Well, yeah.
So,
Yeah.
that's fine. You let him go.
I think pitch counts should be more geared toward high stress pitches instead of the amount of pitches you throw. If you're cruising through a lineup and you have 115 pitches, you're probably fine.
Right. Like look at what Verlander did. He threw 126 in a complete game.
Yeah.
I mean, but none of those were stressful.
If you're laboring and it's like 4 innings, 100 pitch, you're done. No.
If it's a shutout ball game after 8 innings, but you had to strand the bases loaded in the 5th and again in the 7th to get out of it,
you're not going to pitch the 8th.
you're done. Those are taxing.
Ideally, you should not throw more than 25 pitches in an inning. Ideally. Obviously, stuff happens, but in a perfect world,
I would agree with that rule. And yeah, Girardi's his bullpen management was just rough.
It was up and down. Yeah.
It wasn't up and down. It was never up.
Well, it was moderate to, I don't know. It was okay. I'm not saying it was good. I think demoting Chapman was a good thing and getting his confidence back, so we're sending a message. But yeah.
Well, Eric Wedge was one of the interview candidates. As soon as I saw that name, I flipped out. No. Other names.
Hensley Mullins is
Yeah,
my
saw
favorite to win.
Saw that name.
No, he's my favorite to win.
Really?
He
Why?
speaks English, Spanish,
five
Dutch,
languages.
and Japanese.
Speaks 5 languages. Yep.
That is
His former position was what? Bench coach somewhere.
for the Giants.
For the
And he
Giants.
managed the Dutch team in the World
That's
Baseball
right.
class, so he managed Didi and all that.
That's right.
So, he speaks, like I said, English, Spanish, probably French too, Dutch, and Japanese.
Yeah.
He is a dark horse to win Ohtani to the Yankees.
His
Because
dark horse to win Shohei Ohtani, which is a big offseason topic. Where is he going to go? When will he finally let people come offer him contract? Because the offers you need to give him just to talk to him. Like,
But after
it's
that,
like the
he's-
Japanese markets players, you got to pay just to talk to him.
But after that, he's dirt cheap because he's 23. So he's going to be making league
yeah, I
minimum.
get that. So
you
he
should
won't be
want him.
making league minimum. He's still going to be.
He is under the international rules or whatever. He's 23.
So he's going to be.
qualifies.
So he's going to be making.
He's going to be making league minimum
550
on a minor league deal, I think. And then
it's going to cost like $35-40 million to talk to him.
I'm sure there's a posting fee, but yeah, the actual contract outside of the posting fee isn't going to be that expensive. We should go after him with all holds bar.
If you think
No
that,
holds bar.
if you think that'll help, I just think that the experience, obviously, him talking all those languages, speaking all those languages.
I think it's a valuable skill.
I think it's very
he
huge.
can go out and talk to a guy like Tanaka, and you don't need a translator.
Absolutely,
If you
I
just
think
give him a
that is absolutely huge. I I just also want to add that what I think is huge, the experience he's had under Bruce
Bochy.
Yes, Bruce Bochy. Thank you. I don't know why I thought Bud Black.
No, you're good. BBs. In the National League West.
Under Bruce Bochy. The Giants have been down this year. Didn't have exactly the greatest 2016 either. But, Bochy's still one of the best managers ever.
Sure.
So his experience that he has under him could probably help. So,
and I really like him as a candidate. I love him as the manager.
Yeah.
I just think the skills, the interpersonal communication, for you to go out and talk to a guy like Tanaka or Ohtani without a translator, that speaks volumes to just establishing bonds with your pitchers. I think it goes a long way. I don't think it's not a bad thing.
Right.
That's for sure.
So speaking of the offseason and just a whole lot of things going on, there's more than just managerial positions opening. Here's something interesting I found. Well, two things. One, the less interesting thing, Alex Cobb denied his qualifying offer of $17.4 to the Rays. So whoever wants to talk to Alex Cobb, talk to Alex Cobb. He'll get some money.
I like Alex Cobb.
I also like Alex Cobb. I'm just saying he's going to get money. He's going to get 22 plus.
He'll get at least 20, that's for sure. Yeah.
He's
a solid 2-3 starter when he's on.
One of my favorite changeups in the game.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, my God. Devastating.
He's like the Jeremy Hellickson that worked out, basically.
Hellickson was good on the Rays, though.
Yeah, he's pretty good.
He was good on the Rays.
He's not great now.
Not good anywhere else.
No.
So Alex Cobb's going to be available if the Yankees want to hold true to try to sign Machado and Harper in the future.
No.
Probably won't go after Cobb. He seems like he would do well in the American League Central.
Okay.
Just the way he pitches. Because the changeup, or just in the American League in general, because the changeup utilizes the DH.
Okay.
DH is now can hit power pitching, but the changeup is a good utilizer for that.
Right.
So I think he's an American League pitcher. I don't think he's going to go to the National League, but I think he's going to get money from someone. And
he'll go to the National League if they pay him.
If they pay him, but who needs pitching more than anything? Who has a good lineup and can score runs, especially when Trout's producing, but needs pitching more than anything? The Angels.
Very good fit for the Angels. Very, very. Especially now, I don't know if Phillips is still under contract, but I know Upton is.
I don't know. They just extended Justin Upton. They still have Cole Calhoun.
Angels,
they still have Trout. They still have Andrelton Simmons, who had a pretty good year hitting wise. He had over 290 this year. Didn't know where that came from.
The Angels need a bullpen. They have some. Keenan Middleton's really good. Parker's year to year he's all right, but he's good this year. Last year he was okay. But relievers, you just don't know. I like Keenan Middleton. I think he's 98, good slider. Bud Norris. But no, the Angels need consistent starting pitching. I think a lot of their guys have outperformed their. I'm not saying they're robots, but
you need someone to
Tyler Skaggs.
You need someone to go with Skaggs and Richards, and you just need someone in there.
I think Cobb would be a great fit in LA.
Hopefully he doesn't turn into another C.J. Wilson for them, where they put all their money in on him, and he does Head and Shoulders shampoo commercials, and he's like, "Oh yeah, I'm C.J. Wilson. Look at my hair in Los Angeles."
And he has shoulder issues and throws like 89 toward the end of his career. Yeah, this is a bad contract.
Oh boy. Oh, we're sorry, Los Angeles. So the other thing that we can wrap up this podcast with is the Giancarlo Stanton sweepstakes.
Yeah,
he's gonna be available. So the Marlins are gonna have to eat some of that contract, and by some I mean most.
Most of it.
But it just seems like Jeter is a bit over his head in terms of what he's asking for. A lot of people are saying that what Jeter's asking for Giancarlo is just so out of touch with reality that no one's even considering talking to him about him anymore. However, Boston has made offers. Some other teams out there. Who am I thinking of?
Giants.
The Giants, yes, they made offers. Which also the Yankees could be involved with that as well. The Yankees could be involved with that as well in terms of sending Castro and Stanton over to the Giants, and the Yankees would get Panic in return, and the Marlins would just get a bunch of prospects in return. Which is a possibility per MLB trade rumors.
Yeah, that'd be something.
that would be interesting. Rather have Castro than Panic, in my opinion.
But
if Panic's cheaper and has a lefty bat, then fine. Save us some money for next year to be in the bidding wars for Machado and Harper.
Castro gets a lot of hate, and the numbers don't back up his performance. But I like him.
Oh no, he was great. He was great.
He gets knocked because he goes through huge slumps and he's too nonchalant in the field. But when he's on, he's a great second baseman.
I like him a lot. And it's just if Panic can do something
If
similar,
Panic
and he's
could be
cheaper,
more
fine.
consistent, yeah. But
With a lefty bat.
Right, lefty bat too. Yeah.
So, just the whole Stanton thing, I'm curious about, man. Like, I
truthfully,
saw that contract. I'm like, there's no way you can dish that. He was almost gone at the trade deadline. He was almost put on waivers, and now he's talking about being sold in the offseason.
Yeah, to be honest, I don't know how it's gonna work. I haven't really looked into it. Obviously the Marlins are gonna have to eat a lot of the money, and they'll probably get like, I'd say 3 or 4 prospects in return with like probably three good prospects and like a young starter. That's ideally what you can get with someone like Stanton. 3 top 100 I mean, I'm not saying every team has 3 top 100 prospects in their system like the Yankees do, but if you were to trade Stanton, you'd want like a nice starting pitcher, some position player, and like some prospects. Probably he's not going to come cheap.
It's going to take 3 top prospects.
Yeah, at least.
Yeah, it's going to be expensive.
Imagine Stanton at Fenway. Oh my God, good 60 home runs is not out of the realm of possibility at Fenway.
All you have to do is just get it up in the air. Honestly.
All you have to do is hit a fly ball left field.
It's just going to go, especially with his size.
Yeah. Imagine if Stanton played at the Polo Grounds.
Do you think he could hit it out to dead center?
I think he could.
It's 500 some odd feet away.
480 feet.
Yeah, but it was also like what, 280 down the lines.
Yeah. Yeah, you could bunt it down for a home run.
Right. Oh man, but we got a whole offseason to look forward to. This is the last podcast before Thanksgiving. So after Thanksgiving, we'll come back and we'll have another one in the just before the first week of December.
Another one.
But yes, another one, DJ Khaled. So with that, we would like to say happy Thanksgiving to all you. We hope you all enjoy your Thanksgiving. Ken, happy Thanksgiving. What are you looking forward to most this Thanksgiving?
Stuffing with gravy, football, and pie, like I always do.
That's just great.
Thanks.
I wish I could have all of that nice and peaceful with just my family, but got to go to my other family too. It's
What do you mean?
I got relatives and stuff that we go see every year, and I like them, but they're like
extended.
They're a lot to handle.
They're just that side of the family.
They are that side of the family. So here's the thing: is I like to look forward to turkey and stuffing and gravy and cranberry sauce and mashed potatoes and just everything's just being so great. Mm-hmm. So we have all those foods, but then my aunt likes to go above and beyond and try to have like stuffed portobello mushrooms and stuff like and like zucchini squash and stuff like that for Thanksgiving that I just don't want.
No, thank you, Aunt.
Just load me up with starch.
Yeah.
And carbs.
I literally eat
fat.
All I eat is turkey, stuffing. 95% of my meal is stuffing, and then pie. That's pretty much.
Cranberry sauce?
I don't like cranberry sauce.
Dude, stuffing is great. Hot take: leftovers. Use your leftover dinner rolls and stuffing and turkey and gravy. Make a sandwich out of it.
Okay.
So have you ever done that?
No, I'll look into it though.
Do it.
Okay.
It's amazing.
Okay. Well.
So me and my dad do that. We look forward to Thanksgiving leftovers every year because of that. So, we hope you all enjoy your Thanksgiving, and we will see you after Thanksgiving that week. After Thanksgiving, right before December starts. So until next time, that does it for this week. For the A.K.47 Podcast, I'm Austin Speaker.
I'm Kenny Stables.
Thank you for listening.